produttore Jeremy Rosen, gli attori, gli interpreti McCoslin, Quartin, Paulsen, Dree Hemingway, Pitt e il regista Swab. Vorrei cominciare io con una domanda per il regista. Il film mette insieme un ricchissimo cast composto da attori molto famosi, molto celebri, ma anche diciamo dei nuovi arrivati, e quindi com'è stato lavorare con loro tutti insieme e che valore aggiunto è stato il cast per il film?
I think you know, nowadays like added value, like you said, we have real, you know, known actors in this film, and it's extremely hard to make a film nowadays without added value like that. And luckily, we got added value and very talented actors together. You know, but yeah, it was great. It was a wide range. I mean, Mitchell was his first movie, and he did a wonderful job. And you know, and him and Mykle being our lead, it was such a great, like, you know, Mykle is somebody I grew up admiring his movies, so to get to work with him and also learn from him, and also get to learn from Mitchell, working with somebody who's never worked before, I learned a lot. So yeah, it was a great experience, you know, and everybody here contributed. You know, Sam's been in every one of my films. Dree came on a year before the movie, and you know, so we kind of got to individually work with everybody a little bit differently, and it was a great experience.
E agli autori volevo chiedere, ecco, che tipo di riflessioni hanno fatto quando non hanno letto la sceneggiatura, come definirebbero i rispettivi personaggi e che cosa li ha spinti ad accettare il ruolo che era stato loro offerto. Mykle?
Ciao. So the question, what was the question again? The question's like, I think scripts actually can be very deceiving. A good script can be a good read and not necessarily a great movie. And so in cinema, I don't judge everything on the script. I also know how difficult it is for directors to just get their movies made. So I think they're constantly being pressured to change things, and so what I really judge, you know, what really makes me make a movie or decide to make a movie is the director and the actors. And if the director is open to working with the script, then I don't judge everything on the script. So it was really meeting John, meeting Dree, and that's really what made me do the film.
Hello. I've worked with John many times, but I like the honesty that he brings to it, and he's lived a really crazy life, and most of his films, there's a lot of truth in that. He did run away from home when he was younger, and I trust someone that's putting themselves into it. I feel like I want to be of service to that, so I just trust him, so I was in as soon as he told me about the role, and also the things that I didn't connect to, he's open and let me rewrite them or change something that I didn't think made sense for the character.
Hi. I really did fall in love with the script, and I really fell in love with the character Peaches, and she was somebody who I had never played before, and she seemed she seemed like somebody I want to explore, and I don't know. I can only base on what I did fall in love with the script. It's a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful script, and a lot of it changed throughout filming and stuff like that because you just don't know how things are going to happen. But it's a great film that I'm proud to be a part of. And John's an incredibly talented director, especially from somebody who asks so many questions while filming. But it was great, and I learned a lot. I learned a lot from Mykle, as like different ways of acting, which I'd never thought of before. And yeah, it was fun. It was like a test in a way.
And on behalf of some of the other cast members who are not with us here at Roma, John worked previously with Mark Boone Jr. I worked previously with both Ron Perlman and William Forsythe, all of whom would have been delighted to be here, but they're busy gentlemen. And my point in mentioning that, as is the case for me in my producer capacity, we all bet on the person, right? So whatever may or may not have resonated on the written page of the script, ultimately we all love John, and we're here to support him and his vision.
Yeah, my character was like a lot of fun to play because it was very interesting, and like he did not. It's something just like completely different than like my life, and it was really cool to see because like Mykle Pitt, he's the older me, so I got to see like the difference of throughout Oscar growing up, and seeing how Mykle played Oscar and how I played Oscar was a lot of fun. And it was just very cool to see all the different things that we did throughout the film.
I just wanted to say how great it was working with the kids. I think they brought a magical aspect to the film, and John is a great director to work with. He makes you feel comfortable as an actor and just kind of allows you to use your talent to do what you want to do. And sometimes directors can make you feel nervous or that you're doing it wrong, but I never felt like that. And it was wonderful working with William Forsythe. He's a wonderful actor.
Ci sono delle domande? Allora cominciamo da lì.
Presente?
Sì, vai.
Federico Mattioni, Cinema di Sensi. Ho notato che in un paio di scene in particolare vengono citati più volte un paio di film, Rumblefish di Coppola e Lost Boys di George Schumacher. Rientravano tra i cosiddetti compiti a casa per gli attori, quanto sono stati fonte di ispirazione? Grazie.
Yeah, I can hear now. Where are you? I can't see you, but I like your voice. So can you repeat the question really quick, Susan? I'm sorry. She's gone now? No, can you repeat the question because I missed it? I'm so sorry. It went out. Okay, so what I understand is you said Rumblefish, Joe Schumacher.
That's something that sort of came out of when we had to do this very quickly. I was going to make the film, and then another film came through, and so it looked like I wasn't going to be able to make this film. The other film fell apart, and I said to my agents, I said, well, I'd really love, love to do Run with the Hunted. I'm sure they've already moved on though. And so they said, no, we can do it. But so we were very rushed. We shot in Tulsa, Oklahoma, and so I started researching, you know, this place. I know the streets of New York, but I don't know the streets of Oklahoma. And in my research, you know, I stumbled upon Coppola's Rumblefish, which I knew. I had read all the books, and so I was very inspired by that. And oddly, I just came from a Coppola retrospective where he did a master class, and they asked me to present Rumblefish, so it's very strange. Literally just a couple days ago. The Lost Boys was not a direct reference to the film, more of probably a subconscious one. These are lost boys. These are, it came out of improvisation, and it was a lost boy who had grown up trying to make some kind of crazy family, not having one anymore. So that's where that came from. But I also they did a reprint of Rumblefish, and I got to see it screened de Leon, and it's such a great film. So I'm happy that we referenced it.
Yeah, maybe John.
Yeah, I mean, like Michael said, you know, in his research, he kind of connected with Rumblefish, and you know, I'm from Oklahoma and from Tulsa, where Rumblefish was made, and as well as The Outsiders. So those films and Coppola are kind of, you know, not a lot of things happen where I'm from, and in the few things that do, you kind of really latch on to and kind of make a part of you. So, you know, when Mykle showed up and we were trying to connect the material together and figure out, you know, what was really gonna do this justice, you know, Rumblefish and S.E. Hinton and those things kind of became a touchstone for the both of us to find our way out. So, yeah. And
I just want to say one more thing about S.E. Hinton, because I'm not sure if, because it is an American writer. I had a teacher when I was very young who had us read these books, and we were, you know, kind of lost boys ourselves. And I had a great teacher who was trying to connect with these unruly kids, and he did that through S.E. Hinton. He read all the books, which are great, and I would suggest it. But the interesting thing that he did was at the end, after we had read all the books, he said that it was a woman who wrote the books, and I think I think it's public knowledge that she didn't advertise the fact that she was a woman. She was writing young men in motorcycle gangs and gangs with nothing to do, with no future, so authentically that I would really suggest it, suggest the books.
Prego.
Sì, buongiorno, Andrea Giordano per Esquire. Una domanda per il regista ma anche per Michael Pitt. C'è un tema che mi interessa chiedere a Michael Pitt e al regista, cioè il tema della famiglia, anche perché poi all'inizio è vero che si parlava di bimbi sperduti, ma c'è un'idea anche di inclusione, di sentirsi se stessi, di sentirsi forse compresi fuori dal contesto originale familiare. Volevo sapere se era un tema che era nato già in scrittura, perché trovo che ci sia un ponte molto affascinante tra l'inizio e la fine, perché questa amicizia, questo amore in realtà fa parte di una famiglia. I ragazzi insomma creano questa unione e si sente, quindi volevo sapere una riflessione su questo tema, che è un tema secondo me molto contemporaneo, sia da Mykle Pitt che dal regista. Grazie.
It just made me think of that question. One of the first nights Mykle arrived, and we were kind of getting to know Tulsa and to get to know each other. Also, we took a drive late at night, and we talked about family and about about our paths and our past and where we kind of connected on certain things and feeling misunderstood but being accepted other places. And I feel like that's kind of what the script is about, and what the film is about. Is that feeling of finding your own people and making it with whatever you have, your own family. So I don't know. I mean, I remember distinctly having a conversation with Mykle about that, and I'm glad that it came out in the film. I'm glad that you noticed that.
Yeah, I think check 1, 2, 2. I think family is so important, and it's important if you're blessed to have one. I came from a very big family. My grandfather was Italian. I was one of like 30 grandchildren. We all ran the business, all of his restaurants together. I had a beautiful experience of family. When he died, the family sort of broke up, and I never really went back. When I was a teenager, I had to go look for my own family, and I think it's important to we need people in our lives. We need a family, whether we're related or not. And certainly, I think artists are so very often very unique. They have often not conventional views on things. And so I think a lot of artists need to create their own family. But everyone does. Family is so important. But yes, you raise a really good point about the film. It's not just it's also about being found. Not just about being lost. It's about being found as well.
Sì, lì.
I'm curious how the two actors collaborated. To make one character. How the two actors worked together. Did you watch one film or something, or did you discuss in advance?
So how like the two characters, like how they like both were how they both like did the same part, but how they did it differently, and how they become like one. And yeah, so me and Michael Pitt, we met actually, and we started to grow our relationship, and then but it was kind of more like a solo thing, and we kind of do our own thing, and it's pretty cool to see though, because he does something that because he's very experienced, and this is new for me, so it was very cool to see that how he prepared for his film, and how he taught me everything that was very helpful throughout the film.
And as Mykle mentioned earlier, he fell out of the project at one point. We cast Mitchell, then fortunately Mykle was available yet again. The only reason I mention that is because Mykle's beautiful light eyes were changed to match Mitchell's brown eyes. So Mykle actually wears brown contacts in the film, so we had to reverse engineer that with Mykle as the older incarnation of Oscar. And just observing everyone, I get such great pleasure as basically the proud producerial father on scene. is just to see the dynamic between Mykle and the boys, Mitchell included, all of whom came out from the Dallas, Texas area to Oklahoma to shoot. And even the way Mykle was teaching them all boxing, and it was just such organic camaraderie that I really credit Mykle. I credit you a lot with, because it created such a family dynamic, to echo the sentiment from the last question. And it was truly a two-way street, art imitating life, and vice versa.
Mi chiedevo anche se il tema diciamo, dei padri abusivi, il frequentare i lati più oscuri, indagare i lati più oscuri dell'America è una cosa che al regista non è nuova per il regista. Lei si è già inoltrato, diciamo, in questi territori appunto così oscuri. Sente in qualche modo la responsabilità di affrontare temi del genere, di indagarli, di denunciarli?
I don't know about responsibility as much as, yeah, you know, I guess a little bit. I just find flawed people much more interesting, and you know, I don't look at anybody in this film necessarily as a bad person. Just people that have maybe lost their way and are trying to do the best in the circumstances they're in. But yeah, I mean, you know, I guess that was my second. I just finished another film, and it's all dark stuff, and it's all, in a way, uniquely American. You know, but that's just, it's been my experience, and you know, I try and do it without bias, and just, you know, explore those themes. But yeah, I guess there's a responsibility, but it's more of a fascination, I guess. Yeah.
E dobbiamo fermarci qui. We have to stop here. So thank you.